it's pretty simple. Okay. Good morning to everyone. My name is Claudio Ruggieri, and it's a real pleasure to be here in Catania again, be back in Italy once more time. Today I'll be talking about fracture resistance testing of pipeline girth welds using low constraint specimens. And I also would like to acknowledge my co-author, Professor Sarsosa, who works with me in my research group, and also Dr. Hibbert, who works at the Brazilian state oil company Petrobras. And I have a lot of information. I'll move very quickly over the presentation in order to be with the time. So if some of you need some more detail, please catch me outside in the coffee break or lunchtime. So this is the outline. They use what we call SCT specimens in fracture testing of pipeline girth welds. J resistance curves and CTLD resistance curves, the procedures to evaluate them. Then the testing itself, that we use the aligned pipe, which is a similar weld. Inconel alloy 625 is a nickel chromium alloy. And comparison of different CTLD evaluation procedures, it's the big issue now in the oil and gas industry, and some pending issues. It's a little light, but nevertheless. This is the picture of the oil, gas, and pre-salt reservoirs. This is in deep water. So it's not only deep water, but nowadays in many oil and gas reservoirs, particularly in South Brazil, the oil is underneath a salt layer. So that imposes new challenges in the extraction of oil and gas. In particular, we are talking about deep water structures. So usually you don't have many of those. Consequently, one of the floating unity has to contain a large array of pipeline risers and submarine pipelines. So we are talking about high stresses and strains during installation. The thickness must be much larger than onshore pipelines because of the water pressure and sour conditions. That's a very big problem now in our oil and gas reservoirs. So the question is then the impact on defect assessment procedures and how does it affect the tolerable defect size. Conventionally, we use high constraint specimens. Okay, these provides very severe, very conservative assessment. So the trend now is to use single edge notch tensile specimens. Okay. And these SAT specimens does have a very good mechanical correlation with the real pipeline. So believe it or not, this is a steel pipe which is reeled. It's welded onshore, built in a large pipe drum, and then it's deployed to the seabed. Okay. So the deployment will, the procedure of the process, we introduce large stress and strains in the girth weld. Therefore, we need to consider these when installing the pipeline and when laying down the pipeline. In standard defect assessment procedure, we use usually we want to evaluate the ductile tearing properties. Okay, so conventionally we use a conventional J estimation procedure. I'm not going into detail. This is a standard ASTM based on the load versus displacement, and then we use the ETA factor, which is a function of the plastic areas, the strain energy. And then to estimate the amount of ductile tearing also. This is standardized procedure. We use the unloading compressed method. Okay, and usually this is a finite element analysis to calibrate the functional dependence on the amount of loading. And the oil and gas favors the use of CTLD R curves instead of the JR curves. So then we need to evaluate the CTLD. So again, the usual procedure is to convert J to the corresponding CTLD. So there is this is standard fracture mechanics. There is a linear relationship between J and CTLD. However, the oil and gas industry does not like the J CTLD conversion. So they are adopting now a double clip gauge CTLD. So they set up a double clip gauge arrangement. They just measure 2 CMODs, and by extrapolation, the simple geometrical calculation, you can estimate your CTLD. Okay? There are problems, and we're going to see which kind of problems it is. In particular, the double clip gauge CTLD, which is now standardized in the bridge standard 8571. It's a recent standard. The standard does not address all the issues, but nevertheless it's a standard. Defines the CTLD at the original crack tip, and also does not consider the effects of crack growth on J and consequently on CTLD. Okay? And we are going to see the testing that we did at the University of São Paulo. It's a X65 pipe, which has an inner layer of 3 millimeter Inconel 625 alloy. Okay? The girth weld is a single V groove, and it was welded by a flux cord arc welding in 5J position. What's interesting here is that the weld metal actually undermatched the base plate. And as we proceed with the with strain, for example, the tensile stress strain curve, you can see here that's undermatched here at the beginning, and then overmatched for larger strains. So it's a rather complex behavior that we need to take into account when measuring the ductile tearing properties. Maybe it's a little light, but you can see here this is the SCT arrangement. And you can see here the crack growth using the unloading compliance. This is a typical load displacement response, okay? And the procedure was developed at the university together with the Brazil State Oil Company, again, because this is not a standardized procedure. So we won't find this in ASTM, and again, bridge standard does not address all the issues associated with this kind of testing. This is the morphology, so this is really ductile tearing. You can see a lot of voids, a very dimple structure, and this is it's a little light, but you can see here that this is the crack front profile here. This is the fatigue pre-crack notch. This is the ductile tearing, and this is the final failure by unstable glass collapse usually. Okay. The evaluation procedure then uses EDA factors. Here we use the 3D evaluation because of the Inconel layer and the similar nature of the girth weld. So we refine 3D analysis, and this is one kind of results. I'm not going to show all the results here that we get. So these are the plane strain results that we are going to find in bridge standard and also in the ASTM standard, and these are the 3D results. So you can see here the 3D results are 10 to 20% higher than the plane strain results. Okay? And this is the J curve, including the clad layer. So you can see here that we have 4 specimens. And what is marked here is the double clip gauge is the specimen where we put the setup for the double clip gauge. So from that specimen, we also determine the JR curve. This is the corresponding CTODR curve converted from J. Okay, so this is the way that ASTM standard would recommend you to do it. And this is the CTOD resistance curve using the double clip gauge. Now you can see here where the problems start. You see here the CTOD converted from J, and this is a double clip gauge. You can see here that first, it's much higher than the JCTODR curve, and second, it's an increasing function. So you can see here that the tearing module is almost linear all the way up to 2-3 millimeters. Okay, so to investigate what was happening here, so we did some DIC measurements. The movie is a little slow, it's light here, but you can see here the evolution of the plastic zones. So the T-stress, the SCT specimen has a very strong negative T-stress, so it's a really low constraint specimen. And so what we did is first, we measured in DIC a couple of points in the notch flank. So we estimated the CTLD by extrapolation at the notch flank. So you can see here, this is a double clip gauge, and this is the DIC using some points at the notch flank. A little higher, but still better. And finally, we got the DIC at the crack flank. So this is most likely the most realistic, accurate measurement that you can have using the DIC. And then you can see the results here. This is again the double clip gauge, and these are the JR curves from CTLD, and these are the this is the CTLD curve determined from the points on the crack flank. So you can see here that the agreement with the let's say the baseline GR curve is very good, up to 2 millimeters. It's more than enough. Okay, and I'm done. So to summarize then, the loading complex procedure is very effective to evaluate ductile tearing in similar girth welds. Crack growth correction is necessary. I didn't talk too much about this, but I can answer any questions. And the full 3D formulation for J does improve the corresponding evaluation of the CTLD. And this is a very important issue. The CTLD evaluation based on double clip gauge always provides higher resistance curves. And the issue with these is they are non-conservative. So if you use your double clip gauge resistance curve in your assessment, your defect assessment, you are going for sure to be non-conservative. It's not always a very good idea. Okay? Thank you very much. And